And I wanted to get wisdom to help us understand this truly upsetting, troubling, nightmarish story from one of the finest voices in India's healthcare environment. Dr. Naresh Trehan is Chairman and Managing Director of the Medanta Group of Hospitals. Dr. Madhavi Bharadwaj is a well-known pediatrician and an allergist and an influencer as well. Dr. Trehan, I would like to start off with you. At a time like this when emotions are running high, and it is difficult to quantify the loss of 25 children, sir. Everyone is looking for someone to blame. Is it the system? Is it just the companies? Is it the regulator? Is it the local government? What would you say to someone who's looking for an immediate answer as to how something like this could have happened, Dr. Trehan?
So, Shiv, thank you for this opportunity to discuss this very grim matter, which is very upsetting, as you rightfully said, that children have lost their lives at an age where it's just devastating. There are three parts to this whole tragedy. One is the person or the company that made the syrup. Made the syrup with diethylene glycol instead of glycerine, which is normally to be added to make the syrup a little viscous so that it can be given to children without them actually aspirating it, because if it's pure liquid or very liquidy, it can cause problems. So that is the substitution that this company or the number of companies that you've talked about apparently have used in very high dosage, and it's a very toxic material to the human body, and leave alone to the human body, to the children, it is lethally toxic.
Yes.
So that is one part of it, that there has to be a check in the mind of the manufacturers that they cannot cross that line and not have any consequences. So they should have the most severest of consequences for doing what they have done. Second is the fact that the regulator must actually get all these products tested before they are given the standard so that they can be marketed. That is the second line of defense. The third is that the doctors must have given medicines or bought medicines in their dispensaries or the hospitals which are of a recognized brand, where the brand has a consequence of if something bad happens, the brand loses its whole value as a consequence. So that unless there is accountability and a consequence to what you are doing,
yes,
that greed may overtake the process, and you can do very harmful things to the public, because medicines are taken by trust, not by choice. Okay. The fourth thing is basically what the public can do. So one of the things that public should be beware of is buying medicines which are offered at a very steep discount, knowing very well that the quality may not be sustainable at those prices, but just to overcome the emotion of a person who's buying in a distressful state, to be able to buy medicines which are actually not standard medicines, not manufactured by standard companies. So these are all the things that must be put together so that the public feels safe, that what is being offered to them, whatever the price that has been approved by the regulator, that if people are giving discount on that, there is something wrong with it. So we always say, get your medicines from an established brand of pharmacy, because then they all have consequences.
Yes.
All the leading pharmaceutical companies, all the leading healthcare chains, they have a responsibility, because the process that is to be followed by all of us is quite rigorous. That we want to know the molecule, we need to know the generic manufacturer, and we also know that generic manufacturer is a responsible company which has a consequence. So if all these things are put in place, these tragedies hopefully will never happen again.
And we're wondering how it has happened at all and how come it hasn't happened before. Did something specific happen? Dr. Bharadwaj, you've been looking at it very closely as well. We've seen some of your videos. How do you understand it? How could something like this happen? Who do you blame, ma'am?
So I feel probably it is not the first time something like this has happened. Just that the social media, you media people, we are all well aware. Now the news, it travels very fast. It reaches us. Probably things like this were happening from quite some time, I feel. But the thing is, now that, like you said, we have taken up this campaign, I also try to, put it across my page that this cannot be, forgotten easily. Every child's life matters, and it is somebody's whole world. I am a mother too. Okay, so it cannot be left alone, or it can't be just another news. So first thing, where is the fear? How can somebody replace cough syrup? See, this is one cough syrup, right? We talk about it ki cough syrups you shouldn't give in small kids, right? But solvents are there in paracetamol also. Solvents are there in any other syrup which I might prescribe to my own kid or somebody else's kid. Where is the fear in these companies, the regulators? The answer, where is the answerability? How come a very common glycerine, like sir rightly said, glycerine is supposed to be the solvent in kids syrups? Why and how could it be replaced with such a cheap solvent which can be life threatening? And we have seen 24 lives lost. So when I started following this story, I said probably I'm not yet equipped to comment on anything. I don't know what exactly happened with the child, but 24 kids cannot be overdosed on a cough syrup. 24 kids cannot be clinically too sick that they died. Okay, so if we see a common cough syrup, common medicine involved, that this was given to a number of kids and they all died, it is a common sense that you have to question what was there inside. And probably initially the news was coming, they didn't find anything wrong or no poisonous substance in the cough syrup. But probably the pressure that you and we together are creating, we are questioning it again and again. Now the news has come that it has DG. Earlier, it was said there is nothing found. Probably, it is an isolated case, an XYZ. But again, where is the answerability, and who at the level of regulators, authorities, pharmaceutical firms? How is it so easy for you to replace something so basic?
I completely agree with you. There is a level of fearlessness, Dr. Trehan, that, if you have to boil down this entire sort of nightmare issue. And I agree with Dr. Bharadwaj. I'm sure this has happened before. Maybe we have not been aware of it. We live in a hyper-aware time right now where something like this cannot simply be brushed under the carpet. But there is a level of fearlessness at the company level. Maybe that something like this can happen. It cannot be possible that, those manufacturing these products are unaware of the potential ill effects of doing something like this, Dr. Trehan.
Like rightfully Dr. Bharadwaj has said, this has actually happened in some African countries, some products made in India and exported cough syrup. So we know that story. We know that this is something that is actually greed, or the greed for profit making, which can do something like this, which is actually totally against what you are actually, the field you are in. So I'm saying it is an absolute criminal act. It must be taken to task because so many lives were lost. So if it wasn't that this many lives got lost, if it was 1 or 2 or 3, maybe they would have gotten away with it. But it so happens that you latched on to the whole the tragedy. You have taken it to a conclusion that this was DEG, which was actually added on in large quantities. I mean, this is, there are no words to even describe the heinousness of doing something like this. Because the children are going to get it, and it's the children whose lives are going to be wiped out, extinguished.
Dr. Bharadwaj, one final question, and if I have more time, I'll come back to you, Dr. Trehan, is you're a pediatrician, you're a practicing doctor, and, given how viral. I hate to use that word in this context, but how viral this story is. It is on everybody's WhatsApp group. Everyone is aware of this, scary story. Are parents asking you about it when they bring their children to you? What is safe? What is not safe? Can I give cough syrup to my child? What do you tell them, ma'am?
So, first thing, what helped my case is I myself prescribe a lot less medicine. So, it is usually the other way around that I'm telling them, please don't push me into writing medicines. But having said that, yes, a lot of parents are messaging me, is this cough syrup safe? If this is safe. So, we doctors have been trained over years to know the safety and efficacy of a particular drug. So such news which comes and a doctor has written it, it creates another level panic and
Yeah,
a breach in trust between doctors and parents or patients.
yeah,
So that should not be the case. It is a very good narrative that we have taken up, that cough syrups should anyways should not be given too much to the kids. They really don't need it 90% of the times, but what 5 to 10% of the kids might need, they would be given, but in a particular way, in a particular dosage for a particular number of days, and then under a doctor supervision. So do not lose trust in your doctors. They are there to help you out at each and
indeed.
every step. If a bottle has something which it is not supposed to have, how can a doctor predict it?
Correct.
Or probably know what was there inside. Yes, one thing which I think, if I have this platform, some my colleagues are seeing me and would want an advice from me, would be more vocal, counsel more when you are treating your patients. Your 1 or 2 lines extra, or probably 1 or 2 minutes extra in OPD is going to take your relationship in way ahead. Only
Absolutely.
medicines don't treat kids or adults for that matter. What words
I'm
you are using, what explanation you give with medicines, they'll trust you with that.
I think
So,
these are very, very extremely important words that the both of you, Dr. Trehan and Dr. Bharadwaj, have left us with. And coming from the both of you, people will listen and be able to understand very clearly how to process this story. It is already so difficult to digest all this terrible, terrible loss of life and such young life. But understanding that we need to all work together in some way, perhaps, to make sure it doesn't happen again is, in many ways, even more important. I thank the both of you for your time here on India Matters.